Welcome to the Hidden Wealth Coins. What if the smallest coin you have ever ignored is secretly the most powerful asset you will ever own? Hidden inside ordinary-looking wheat pennies is a story of survival, rarity, and explosive value. In the right condition, these 1-cent coins can be worth millions today. Many people have already spent or sold them without knowing the truth. What you are about to hear could completely change how you see coins forever. First up, the wheat penny 1-cent coin from the United States is not just a piece of copper. It is a silent witness to American history, ambition, and hidden fortune. When people hear 1 cent, they imagine something small and useless, but the wheat penny completely destroys that idea. Especially coins connected to the early 1950s era, including 1953, carry stories far deeper than face value. These coins were born in a time when America was reshaping itself after global conflict, when every penny mattered, and when metal minting pressure and human error created coins that today can shock the world. What looks ordinary at first glance can quietly hold unimaginable power, capable of changing a life overnight if the right conditions align. The wheat penny design itself already places the coin in a legendary category. Introduced to honor Abraham Lincoln, this was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. On the reverse side, the 2 wheat stalks represent growth, resilience, and prosperity, which is almost poetic when you think about the wealth some of these pennies now represent. By 1953, the wheat penny had already been circulating for decades, meaning dies were worn, minting machines were stressed, and production pressure was high. This environment created small differences that today mean everything to collectors. In the coin world, perfection mixed with rarity is where value explodes. The year 1953 itself sits in a fascinating historical position. America was transitioning from wartime urgency into economic expansion. The mint was focused on speed, not future collectability. Millions of pennies were struck, but not all were born equal. Metal composition, planchet quality, striking pressure, alignment, and microscopic details varied from coin to coin. Most were spent, lost, damaged, or melted over time. Only a tiny fraction survived in exceptional condition. That survival is what transforms a simple cent into a treasure, because value is not created by age alone, but by how few remain untouched by time. Condition is everything, and this is where the term million condition truly matters. A wheat penny from 1953 that has never been cleaned, never been corroded, never been scratched, and still holds sharp details, original luster, and natural color is not common at all. Coins like that were usually pulled straight from mint rolls and forgotten for decades. When such a coin surfaces today, collectors don't see copper. They see a time capsule. The sharper Lincoln's hair, the clearer the wheat lines, and the stronger the strike, the higher the emotional and financial reaction in the market. Some of the most powerful value increases come from coins that carry subtle minting anomalies. These are not flashy mistakes you see with the naked eye, but tiny irregularities that separate one coin from millions of others. Slight doubling in letters, unusual thickness, metal flow lines, or off-standard weight can push a coin into an entirely different category. These details are why 2 1953 wheat pennies can look similar to normal people, but be worlds apart in value. In elite collecting circles, uniqueness is currency, and rarity feeds desire like fuel on fire. Another factor that turns these coins into financial legends is demand psychology. The wheat penny is one of the most emotionally collected coins in American history. People associate it with grandparents, childhood piggy banks, and simpler times. This emotional connection creates constant demand, and when demand meets scarcity, prices don't rise slowly, they jump. Wealthy collectors don't hesitate when a top-tier coin appears, because they know another may not surface for years or decades. This urgency is what creates shocking auction moments, where small copper coins sell for life-changing amounts. The phrase unimaginable wealth may sound dramatic, but in the coin world, it has proven meaning. Coins are portable wealth, silent assets, and historical art combined. A single cent that survived untouched, while millions were destroyed, becomes a symbol of survival. That symbolism carries weight in elite markets. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying stories, rarity, and legacy. When a 1953 wheat penny appears in near-perfect condition, with special characteristics, the competition alone can multiply its price beyond logical expectations. What makes these coins especially dangerous to underestimate is how ordinary they look. Many people still spend or sell them cheaply because they lack knowledge. History is full of stories where a coin was sold for pocket money only to later be valued at an amount that could buy houses, cars, or businesses. This is why patience and caution matter. Once a rare coin leaves your hands, it almost never comes back. In the world of rare coins, the seller's regret is far more common than the buyer's. Another powerful aspect of wheat penny history is survival rate. While millions were minted, very few survived in untouched condition because copper is sensitive. Moisture, fingerprints, cleaning, and storage mistakes destroy value instantly. This natural elimination process makes high-grade coins exponentially rarer with every passing year. Time itself is constantly reducing supply, while global interest in rare coins keeps growing. This imbalance is why prices don't just rise, they accelerate. The idea of becoming wealthy overnight through a coin is not fantasy. It is timing and condition meeting opportunity. When a rare wheat penny is authenticated, graded, and placed into the right market environment, its value becomes visible to the world. Auctions turn quiet objects into headlines. What was once ignored becomes desired, and what was once cheap becomes priceless. This transformation doesn't happen because of hype. It happens because rarity cannot be manufactured once time has passed. The 1953 wheat penny represents more than a date. It represents a closing chapter of an era. Just a few years later, the wheat design would disappear forever, replaced by a new reverse. That makes every surviving wheat penny a relic of a completed story. Completed stories always attract collectors because nothing new can be added to them. Finality increases desire, and desire increases value. If someone truly possesses a 1953 wheat penny in extraordinary condition, selling it without deep evaluation would be a mistake that echoes for life. Coins like this are not everyday objects. They are silent assets that reward patience. Markets change, collectors grow wealthier, and rare coins continue to migrate into private vaults. Every year that passes without selling increases the chance of historic value. In the end, the wheat penny teaches one powerful lesson: never judge value by size. The smallest objects can carry the greatest fortunes, and history often hides wealth in plain sight. A single cent, forgotten in a drawer, can hold the power to rewrite destiny. The real danger is not that the coin is worthless, but that someone gives it away before understanding what they truly hold. Next up, the 1948 wheat penny is one of those coins that quietly sits in history, while hiding explosive potential beneath its simple copper surface. At first glance, it looks ordinary, almost forgettable. Yet this exact simplicity is what makes it dangerous to underestimate. Born just after one of the most intense periods in human history, this coin entered circulation when the world was rebuilding, economies were shifting, and America was stepping into a new global role. Every 1948 wheat penny carries the weight of that moment, struck during a time when the future was uncertain and the present demanded speed over perfection, creating conditions where rarity was born accidentally. By 1948, the wheat penny design had already earned legendary status. Abraham Lincoln's portrait had become a familiar symbol of unity and endurance, while the wheat ears on the reverse quietly represented survival, labor, and prosperity. These pennies were not made to be saved. They were made to move quickly through hands, pockets, and cash registers. That constant circulation destroyed most of them. The few that escaped wear, damage, or careless handling became survivors. And in the coin world, survivors are where value begins to breathe. The year 1948 stands at a unique crossroads. War production had ended, but minting habits had not fully slowed. Equipment was heavily used, metal quality varied, and mint workers focused on output, not microscopic perfection. This environment meant no two coins were exactly alike. Tiny variations in strike force, metal flow, and die condition created differences that cannot be repeated today. What was once a manufacturing inconvenience is now a collector's obsession, because these differences separate common coins from life-changing ones. Condition transforms the 1948 wheat penny from historical artifact into financial weapon. A coin preserved with sharp details, untouched surfaces, and original copper glow becomes something rare beyond expectation. Most pennies from this era were cleaned, polished, scratched, or corroded without a second thought. Cleaning alone destroys value instantly, making truly untouched examples incredibly scarce. When a coin survives decades without human interference, it gains something no modern coin can ever have: authenticity sealed by time. What truly ignites million-level attention is when condition meets uniqueness. Subtle irregularities, such as faint doubling, unusual thickness, or striking anomalies elevate a coin into a different universe. These are not loud errors, but quiet signatures of imperfection that experts hunt relentlessly. When such a coin appears, it does not compete with thousands. It competes with almost nothing. In elite markets, rarity doesn't ask for permission. It commands price. The idea of unimaginable wealth connected to a 1-cent coin feels unreal to most people, yet that disbelief is exactly why fortunes are missed. Rare coins operate on scarcity logic, not face value logic. When supply disappears and demand grows across generations, value multiplies silently. The 1948 wheat penny sits in a category where supply continues shrinking every year while collector demand expands globally. This imbalance creates pressure, and pressure creates explosive valuation moments. Another reason the 1948 wheat penny holds power is emotional demand. Collectors are not only investors, they are storytellers. This coin belongs to the post-war chapter of American life, when families rebuilt and optimism slowly returned. Owning a coin from that exact moment feels like owning a physical memory. Emotional attachment pushes collectors to pay beyond rational limits, and when wealthy buyers compete emotionally, prices stop making sense and start making history. Time itself acts as a silent partner in increasing value. Copper ages, environments change, and storage mistakes continue eliminating high-grade coins. Every year, more 1948 wheat pennies lose their potential forever, leaving fewer candidates capable of commanding serious money. Unlike paper assets, coins cannot be reprinted. Once lost, they're gone permanently. This irreversible loss gives surviving coins unstoppable leverage. Many people unknowingly sell rare coins cheaply because they judge value by appearance rather than context. A wheat penny looks small, light, and familiar, tricking the mind into underestimating it. History is filled with stories of coins sold for pocket change that later sold again for sums capable of reshaping entire families' futures. Regret follows ignorance more often than bad luck in the coin world. What turns a rare coin into a headline-making object is visibility at the right moment. When a top-condition 1948 wheat penny is authenticated and enters serious collector circles, its story becomes public, and public attention fuels competition. Auctions do not create value, they reveal it. Once revealed, value rarely moves backward. Wealth follows recognition, and recognition follows rarity. The power of this coin also lies in finality. The wheat penny design was nearing its end, making every surviving example a closed chapter of history. Closed chapters attract collectors because nothing new can dilute them. The 1948 wheat penny cannot be recreated, reissued, or repeated. Its existence is finite, and finite objects naturally become valuable when desire persists. If someone truly holds a 1948 wheat penny in extraordinary condition, rushing to sell it cheaply would be an irreversible mistake. Coins like this reward patience, knowledge, and timing. Markets evolve, collector wealth grows, and rare coins slowly migrate into long-term vaults where they disappear from circulation. When availability drops, remaining examples gain power automatically. The idea of becoming wealthy overnight through a coin is not magic. It is alignment. Alignment between rarity, condition, timing, and awareness. When those elements meet, value erupts suddenly, not gradually. That is why some coins sit unnoticed for decades and then shock the world in a single moment. In the end, the 1948 wheat penny teaches a dangerous lesson. Never confuse small size with small worth. History often hides its greatest treasures in the simplest forms. A single cent, resting quietly in someone's possession, can hold the power to rewrite destiny. The real risk is not that the coin has no value, but that its owner never realizes what they are holding until it belongs to someone else. Next up, the 1951 wheat penny is one of those coins that appears ordinary, yet carries the kind of silent power that can shock anyone who truly understands history and rarity. At first glance, it looks like just another old copper cent, something people have seen countless times in drawers or jars. But this coin was born in a very specific moment of American history, a moment filled with tension, rebuilding, and transition. That timing alone gives it weight, because coins are not just metal, they are frozen moments of the world that created them. When the right 1951 wheat penny survives in exceptional condition, it stops being small money and starts becoming serious wealth. By the time 1951 arrived, the wheat penny design had already become deeply rooted in American life. Abraham Lincoln's face on the coin symbolized unity, strength, and survival, while the wheat ears on the back quietly represented growth after hardship. These pennies were struck to be spent, not protected. They moved through millions of hands, rubbed against keys, dropped on streets, and stored carelessly. Most were damaged beyond redemption. The few that escaped this fate became survivors. And in the coin world, survival is the foundation of value. The year 1951 sits in a powerful historical position. The world was no longer at war, but it was far from peaceful. Industries were expanding rapidly, demand for currency was high, and mints were focused on quantity rather than perfection. Machines were overworked, dyes were reused, and quality control was secondary to speed. This environment created subtle differences between coins that were never meant to matter. Today, those differences are exactly what separate a common penny from a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Condition is where the story of the 1951 wheat penny becomes dangerous to ignore. A coin that has never been cleaned, never been scratched, and never lost its original surface becomes extremely rare by default. Copper is sensitive, and decades of exposure destroy value quickly. A 1951 wheat penny that still shows sharp lettering, strong wheat lines, original color, and full detail is not just old, it is exceptional. Exceptional coins do not follow normal pricing rules. They follow scarcity rules. What pushes certain 1951 wheat pennies into million-level discussions is the presence of uniqueness combined with preservation. Tiny irregularities created during minting, barely noticeable to untrained eyes, can completely change a coin's destiny. Slight doubling, unusual metal flow, or strike characteristics can turn a single cent into something collectors chase relentlessly. These features cannot be recreated today, which means once a rare example is locked away, the market loses another opportunity forever. The phrase unimaginable wealth feels exaggerated until you understand collector psychology. Rare coins are not valued only for what they are, but for how few exist and how badly they are wanted. The wheat penny is one of the most emotionally collected coins in American history. People remember them from childhood, from grandparents, from a time when money felt simpler. That emotional connection fuels demand, and demand combined with scarcity creates explosive price behavior. Another reason the 1951 wheat penny holds such power is time. Time is ruthless to coins. Every year, more examples are damaged, cleaned, or lost, permanently removing them from the pool of potential high-value pieces. At the same time, collector interest continues to grow worldwide. This creates a silent imbalance, where supply shrinks while desire increases. When this imbalance becomes visible, prices do not rise slowly, they jump suddenly. Many people make the mistake of judging coins by size instead of story. A penny feels insignificant in the hand, which tricks the mind into underestimating it. History is full of examples where rare coins were sold cheaply simply because the owner didn't understand what they had. In the rare coin world, ignorance is far more expensive than patience. Once a rare coin leaves your possession, the opportunity it carried leaves with it forever. The idea of becoming wealthy overnight through a coin is not fantasy, it is timing. When a rare 1951 wheat penny is recognized, authenticated, and brought into the right collector environment, its value becomes visible to those who can pay without hesitation. Wealthy collectors compete differently. They do not ask whether they should buy, they ask whether they can afford to miss it. That mindset is what creates shocking sales that turn pennies into legends. The wheat penny era itself adds another layer of power. The design would soon disappear forever, replaced by something new. That makes every surviving wheat penny a piece of a closed chapter. Closed chapters attract serious collectors because nothing new can dilute them. The 1951 wheat penny belongs to a finished story, and finished stories carry weight in the world of rare objects. A truly high-grade 1951 wheat penny is not just an asset, it is a silent vault. It holds value without noise, without risk of duplication, and without dependence on modern systems. Coins like this quietly move from circulation into private collections and rarely return. Every time one disappears into long-term storage, the remaining examples become more powerful automatically. Selling such a coin cheaply is not just a financial mistake, it is a historical one. Rare coins reward those who wait, who understand timing, and who respect what time has already done. Markets change, wealth grows, and attention shifts. A coin that seems overlooked today can become tomorrow's headline when the right eyes finally see it. The 1951 wheat penny ultimately teaches one dangerous lesson: never confuse simplicity with lack of value. History often hides its greatest rewards in the most humble forms. A single cent, forgotten in a drawer, can hold the power to change a fortune overnight. The real risk is not holding the coin, but letting it go before realizing that its true value was never meant to be small. Next up, the 1955 wheat penny is not just another old copper coin. It is one of the most whispered about names in the entire world of American coin history. At first glance, it looks humble, small, and ordinary, yet behind that simplicity lies a reputation that has turned unknown people into legends overnight. This coin was born in a time when America was moving fast, industries were expanding, and mistakes were quietly slipping through unnoticed. Those mistakes, combined with time and survival, are what transformed a simple 1-cent coin into something capable of carrying unimaginable wealth today. By 1955, the wheat penny had already earned its place in everyday American life. Abraham Lincoln's face was instantly recognizable, a symbol of unity and endurance, while the wheat stalks on the reverse spoke silently of growth and resilience. These coins were never meant to be saved or admired. They were designed to move quickly, to be spent without thought. That careless circulation destroyed the vast majority of them, which makes every surviving high-quality example feel almost miraculous. The year 1955 itself holds a unique kind of pressure in history. The economy was active, money was flowing, and the mint was producing coins at a relentless pace. Speed mattered more than perfection. Dies were pushed to their limits, machines worked non-stop, and quality control often took a back seat. In such an environment, unusual coins were born without anyone realizing their future importance. What was once seen as a flaw became, decades later, a badge of extreme rarity. Condition is where the 1955 wheat penny becomes truly dangerous to underestimate. Copper is unforgiving. Fingerprints, moisture, cleaning, and friction destroy originality instantly. A 1955 wheat penny that still holds sharp details, natural color, and untouched surfaces is not just rare, it is exceptional. Exceptional coins do not follow normal price logic. They operate in a space where collectors compete emotionally, not rationally. What makes certain 1955 wheat pennies reach unbelievable value levels is the meeting of preservation and uniqueness. Tiny differences created during minting, differences invisible to most people, can turn one coin into something entirely separate from millions of others. When such a coin survives decades without damage, it becomes a survivor with a story that cannot be repeated. In the rare coin world, stories like that are priceless. The phrase million condition is not about hype, it is about scarcity. When collectors realize that only a handful of examples exist in truly elite condition, desire intensifies instantly. Wealthy collectors do not hesitate when rarity is confirmed, because they know opportunities like that do not return. Once a rare 1955 wheat penny enters a private collection, it often disappears for generations, shrinking supply even further. Emotional demand plays a massive role in the power of this coin. The wheat penny connects people to childhood memories, grandparents, and a time when money felt simple and tangible. That emotional connection creates demand far beyond logic. When nostalgia meets rarity, value multiplies rapidly. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying memories, history, and legacy. Time itself acts as the greatest ally of the 1955 wheat penny. Every passing year removes more coins from potential high-grade status. Cleaning mistakes, corrosion, and careless storage continue eliminating candidates. At the same time, interest in rare coins keeps growing worldwide. This silent imbalance between shrinking supply and rising demand is what causes sudden explosions in value. Many people lose fortunes not because they lack opportunity, but because they underestimate what they already have. A penny feels insignificant, which is why rare pennies are often sold cheaply. History is filled with stories where small copper coins left someone's hand forever, only to later be valued at amounts that could have changed their entire future. In the coin world, knowledge is protection. The idea of becoming wealthy overnight through a coin is not fantasy, it is recognition. When a rare 1955 wheat penny is properly understood and enters the right market, its value becomes visible instantly. Auctions do not create worth, they reveal it. When multiple serious buyers compete, prices stop making sense to outsiders and start making headlines. The wheat penny era itself adds to the power of this coin. The design would soon disappear, making every remaining example part of a completed chapter in American history. Completed chapters attract serious collectors because nothing new can dilute them. The 1955 wheat penny belongs to a story that can never be extended or repeated. A truly rare 1955 wheat penny is not just a collectible, it is portable history and silent wealth combined. It does not depend on trends, technology, or systems. Its value exists because it survived when countless others did not. That survival gives it authority in the collector world. Selling such a coin cheaply is not just a bad decision. It is a permanent one. Rare coins reward patience far more than speed. As time passes, awareness grows, wealth concentrates, and rare coins migrate into vaults where they are no longer available. Each disappearance strengthens the value of those that remain. In the end, the 1955 wheat penny proves a powerful truth. The smallest objects can hold the greatest power. What looks like spare change can carry the weight of history and the potential to rewrite a life. The real danger is not owning the coin, but letting it go before realizing that its true value was never meant to be small.